Hello, welcome to the Real Internet Come Forth YouTube channel. My name is Antoinette Smith and I am your author. Remember to get your books, people. Some of them are on sale at Barnes & Noble, Amazon, Google, Apple iTunes, Walmart.com, Target.com, Books A Million, Kobo, Indigo, Tales. Reader's House have picked it up, eBay. They all come in paperback and digital version. Get your copies today. Do not forget about my new book release, My Jesus Experience, Our Journey. It also comes with its own bookmark. Thank you to everyone that came out to my Meet the Author session and on the West Bank at the Barnes & Noble in Harvey, Louisiana. Thank you for your continuous support. Do not forget that I will be at the Barnes & Noble. This is my last signing, y'all. I will be at the Barnes & Noble in City Place in Baton Rouge, Louisiana on August 28th, okay? Thank you, and I hope I see you there. Do not forget about my authors collection boxes, y'all. They flying off the shelf. You need to get yours while supplies last. So that is the Real Internet Authors Collection. I hope you took advantage of the video that I posted. It shows you everything that was on the inside of the boxes. This is the behind the scenes Authors Collection box. It has the completed series as well. Get your whole set. I personalize it to you wherever you live. I will ship it to you free of charge. Now, in the previous video when I was showing you everything that was in the box, in the Real Internet Collection box, it came with a mug. It's a two-way mug where it has Spread Your Wings on the front for the Real Internet, and then it has the behind the scene on the back. You can get that cup. And then in the behind the scenes, it's for my joggers, the canteens, and the people that jog or work out. This came with that. But I also have another glass for you. I didn't forget about my wine drinkers. Let me see, can I put something behind this? Can you see my name on there? This is for my wine drinker, people that drink wine or tea. You can also get this. So whenever you order a box, you can choose whichever beverage glass that you would like, okay? The price does not change. All right. So thank you in advance for your continuous support. Thank you for purchasing my products. We are still in the new book, people. We are on the behind the scenes book series. Remember, this is a 5-part sequel to the Real Internet Come Forth book series. And remember, I put all of these signs on the cover because I'm walking you through my process that I took to get to the place I am today. This book is about my process to prosperity, wealth, health, and wholeness. And I took a lot of roads to get there. It comes with its own bookmark. And do not forget that the behind the scene comes with its own loyalty card as well. It's a 5-part sequel. Now, I told you in the previous videos that the behind the scene book series is not necessary that you buy them in a row, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can buy 1, then you buy 4, whatever. But you need this loyalty card to get your free book, because once you buy 4 of them, I'll give you the 5th book free, whichever 5th book that may be. But if you buy the whole box set, you get them all at the one time. All right, and you get to get a free mug and everything else to go with it. Okay, so thank you in advance. We will be reading from, I'm going to read the preface. I said that. And then we're going to read from chapter number, wait a minute, chapter number 2. Okay, so reads as follows. Behind the scenes, my process to prosperity, wealth, health, and wholeness is the beginning of the 5-book sequel to the Real Internet Come Forth book series. Excuse me. In this 5-book sequel, it deals more with my emotional and mental journey of my life. The real effects of not telling I was molested, the continual abuse I endured for almost my entire life until a few years ago. I didn't get free from everything all at once. I had to work through each area of my life, each form of abuse one at a time. I had to get delivered from the physical abuse first and then foremost before I could begin in any other area. After the physical abuse was somewhat subdued, I say somewhat because it would reoccur periodically, I tackled the drug abuse, then my sexual addiction. Not sexual abuse, but addiction as a result of my early molestation and rape. I address my emotional and mental abuse during each process to deliverance in each area. I start the thinker with behind the scenes so you will have an understanding of my process in which how I got to the place I am today in my life. The route I took to become free, whole, and sound in my mind and body. There are probably hundreds of ways to obtain easily what I gained the hard way. But this is my process, my life path, and the road God chose for me that was necessary for my growth and development to be fully used by Him in every area of my life, to give Him complete control of me and my life. And I'm so grateful God is good. And He knows what is best for me and the plans of my life from my end, from my beginning. I am truly a wonderful, gracious, beautiful woman of God. I really, truly love me inside and out. I love the real me, the real Antoinette who God created me to be. And every day I discover something new about myself and the Godhead over me. Excuse me. I have had an amazing life. I am so humble and honored God chose me to give this course of life to. He chose this cross for me to carry. See, we all have a cross to carry in this life. What's yours? Will you go all the way like Jesus did to Calvary? Or will you stay in the garden and conform to your own will and settle? I chose to go all the way to Calvary to be killed, resurrected by God Himself, to walk in the life and to walk and live in newness of life. That is Romans 6, the King James Version. Excuse me. Book 2, titled After the Pain. The dangers of having good desires at the wrong time for the wrong people. Of this sequel, I deal with my relationship with men, the hardships I face in my love life, and disappointments in love, heartbreaks without ever having true intimacy. Value number 3. My life as a caregiver, how I became the best in my field. Of this sequel deals with my journey to my position, pleasure, purpose in life that led me to a career path that would take me places I never dreamed I would go, around people I never expected to meet, joy and happiness I never imagined. Book 4, titled The Heart of the Matter. God cleansing my insides and facing truth about myself. Of this sequel deals with all the evil I held in my heart toward my abusers, family, friends, people, even myself. I lived a life of falseness in every area because I wasn't real to me. So I had to face my own reality that I was not the nice little girl people thought I was, or I had not become the good mother I planned to be. I lied about being faithful to my spouse, my boss, my pastor, and all involved in this mess called life I was stuck in. I say stuck in because it wasn't living by any means. I don't even call it existing because to exist you must be current. I was stuck at age 5 all of my life, even though I was married, birthed 5 children, and being a somewhat productive human being to a certain degree. Book 5, Made for Him. God uniquely made me for my husband. God made and built me to be exactly what my husband needed and wanted. I had to be processed out of a lot of things spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically before I could be joined to my soulmate, the man I was created for. God had to teach me to be faithful first, to be loyal, to be honest, to be a friend, to be a helpmate, and to be a wife. This process has taken and is taking years. I take one day at a time and try not to rush this process or God because I desire a real mate. But I have chosen to complete my process, and in God's time, my King will find me. We will meet at the appointed time, and I will fit right at His side because there is where I was taken from, to be presented as a gift to Him. Welcome to the behind the scenes. All right. So we are going to read volume chapter number 2. It is titled Honesty. Now in this chapter is by far the most critical to your life. Your process to health, wealth, and anything else you desire to achieve in this lifetime. Honesty, what is it? Why is it so important? Well, allow me to tell you what it is and why it is the most critical part of life. Honesty is the steel reinforced foundation walls and footings made of poured cement as part of your foundation. And this is from the thisoldhousedefinition.com, that makes it a strong to support the weight that it is carrying. Honesty is the quality of being honest, integrity, uprightness. That is the Webster's Dictionary. Honesty, respectable, decent, neat appearance, also free from fraud. That's from the Old French. Honest, virtuous, honorable, decent, respectable, main, moderate sense of dealing fairly, truthful, free from deceit, chastened. You have to become one that will accept the truth and learn the truth and tell the truth in all things. The truth about yourself is by far one of the hardest courses to take, because we as humans are fickle at best. Fickle, changing frequently, especially as regards to one's loyalties, interests, affection, and instability. That's vocabulary from .com. We change like the weather and at the drop of a hat. We are so inconsistent at times for whatever reasons. But to ask an individual about themselves, many would say all good things. I'm a good man, woman, boy, girl, a good friend, loyal spouse, a faithful to, because we think more highly of ourselves than we ought. Romans 12:3, the King James Version, tells us, "For I say, though through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, soberly, according to as God has dealt to every man a measure of faith." We have people to think we are good because of the career choices, the opportunities we have, the amount of money we have in the bank, the house we live in, or the car we drive, where we attended school, what social club we are a part of, what association we belong to, what side of the track we were raised on, whom we know, who is our spouse, the clothes we wear, the children we have, whom we help, whom we gave money to, whom we befriended, and who knows us. Many define themselves according to all this list of things, though they are a list of great things, ideas, and truths are important to a certain degree, because many of them bring you pride if mixed with the wrong attitude of the heart. We have to be honest with ourselves and in area become authentically and genuinely the person God has called us to be. Operate in true humility and respect to all mankind. Lack prejudice in every area. Honesty is an attitude of the heart. It's part of you, your character, and many lacks for whatever reasons. Most are not honest with themselves because they're false and character defects, because we want to appear strong, like we have it all together. We are in control and don't have a past or a history. Well, for me, I had to accept some hard truths about myself and to be totally honest before the Lord to become free in every area of my life. And it was hard because I really thought I was a good person with just a few secrets, because I helped many children and families. I paid my tithes to the church. I housed many homeless people. I cooked and fed hundreds and thousands of people in my lifetime. I never belittled anyone but I accept all who cross my path. I never intentionally hurt anyone, and I tried hard to learn a good way of life and love people, and to take great pride in all the acts of service and outreach to many, until I went before God to get free from my past. And he began to talk to me about myself with this scripture. Isaiah 64:6. This is the King James Version. And he says, "But we are all unclean things, and all our righteousness are as filthy rags, and we all do fade as the leaf, and our iniquities like the wind have taken us away." I almost fainted when I read this scripture. And in Matthew Henry Version, which says, "They confessed themselves to be sinful and unworthy of God's favor, and they had deserved the judgments they were now under. They refer themselves to the mercy of God as a father and submit themselves to his sovereignty. They represent the very deplorable condition they are in, and honestly pray for the pardon of sin and turning away of God's anger. And this is not only intended for us of the captive Jews, but may be for the direction of the church. In other times of distress, what to ask God and how to plead with him. Are God's people at any time in affliction, in great affliction, let them pray. Let us thus pray. This level of honesty takes the grace of God to be at work in you, to receive the total benefits of freedom and deliverance. We have to admit that we are nothing and that the works that we do are nothing without humility. It's all pride and acts of self-righteousness. It's amazing because a lot of my acts of service was taught to me by my father. And I love to help people, care for them, care for children. And I love the elderly population. I love to give myself to certain people and do acts of service with the ones I wanted to be kind. But by my way wasn't God's way. I picked and chose the people and not the ones God sent me to. So I had to acknowledge my sins and my life, that I wasn't doing deeds according to God's way. I was living in sin, unmarried but having children, not faithful in any relationship, half-hearted in all I did, not committing to anything fully or anyone, lying, stealing, using drugs, selling them, falsely accusing others of my wrongs, my heart of hatred toward my molesters, bitterness toward my children's father because of their lack of involvement, mouths of anger toward my parents for not noticing that I was molested from age 5, hurt from the rejection of my family and being ostracized by a community for getting pregnant at age 12 and having a baby at 13, brokenhearted because I felt alone and I was alone, hostile because I was always having to defend myself from people's opinion and abuse from my mate. I had to accept, acknowledge, and admit all of these things was in my heart with pure honesty if I wanted to be healed from my past and to be set free for my future. I tried to deny the abuse happened on many levels. I tried to smoke it away, drink it away, drug it away, have more sex it away, and not think about it. But it had poisoned all my being and polluted every area of my life because my foundation in life was built on this bed of defilement, pain, devastation, and I experienced as a child. And I'm going to end the chapter right there. I want you to get your books, people. I am telling you, many of you ask me, how did I get to the place I am today? This book walked you through there. This is one of the most powerful books you'll ever read that I ever wrote. I'm telling you, you need to get this book. So remember, until we meet again, God gets the glory and I tell the story. Goodbye.